Everyone able to see me?
Yes, sir.
So everyone is good, right? For scripting part and as of now controller.
Annaya, its control is okay, but analyzer is a very
No, analyzer I'm not started. Okay, today I will explain analyzer only. Okay.
You just told Nanya.
Yeah, that will be just only for report point of view. I told for you, but I will explain for everything in options and everything. Okay. No, no
Okay,
worry about
okay.
that. Okay. So
Okay.
once test is completed, right, we need to open the our report. Then it will open summary report like this. So in summary report, what are things there? See, if anyone asks for the interview questions, in summary report, what are things will be there in reports means you need to tell for the how much duration we are executed. Okay. And maximum running users how many? What is the total throughput? And average throughput and total hits and average hits. Okay, so this all things will be there in summary report, and apart from this we need to observe for the like transactions response time. So what is the average response time of each and every transaction, and we are meeting SLA or not, we need check SM2 if anything is a fail or not pass. So this all things will be there in summary report. Apart from this we need to HTTP status code summary report also we need to see. So these all things will be there in summary report. So if anyone asks for the question as a summary report, what are things will be there? What are the duration we are executed and what is the maximum running users and throughput and hits and average response time of each and every transaction. So these all things will be there in, okay. So after that, same to in the graph point of view, we need to running users. Running users means how many number of users you are executed, right? Like 10 users, 15, 20. So this is the running users graph. And after the transaction summary. Transaction summary is nothing but what are the transactions in our script, like launch, login, flight booking, payment, logout. So each and every transactions, how many times it will be passed, how many times it will happen, it will show here. See, user and in it section 1 and section 2. So it will show the pass fail count also. And after that, average response time of each and every transaction response time. This is the transactions graph. Okay. We don't have another one report. So already test is completed. You need to open means you need to open within analyzer. So where we can analyze the results in analyzer. So you need to open means you can open the, this is the analyzer symbol. So you need to open, once you click on double click and it will open the load runner analysis analyzer tool. So see you need to observe, it will be once you can open it will, you should wait for the until 100% is completed. To means 100% completed means till all the results will be loaded. What are the measurements we need, all everything will be loaded. You should wait for the until 100%. Okay, so now you can observe this is the 50 user test we are executed. Okay, This all will be transactions. Okay. See, you can observe all will be less than 2 seconds only. It is happen. So flight booking, login only. I want only transactions response time only. Action transaction nothing but it will be including for this all flight booking, login, payment, payment sign up because everything will be there in action part. So that is why it is including that. It total will be this one. So that is why no need to consider user init and end part. So you need to consider only for the login and payment, flight booking, sign off. These all things we need to observe. So you can observe in 50 user test, all will be less than 2 seconds only it happens. So means our test will be good. So as simply you need to observe for the any errors will be there. You can observe there is no errors. How many times it happen in flight booking 150 and login payment sign up it will be 150. So after that you want to observe for the summary report also will be there. So you can observe in STP response code. See STP 200 means successfully request send and successfully response we got. So where there is no errors, that is why we are seeing here only STP 200 only. Maybe you are getting any error 500 or 300 or 400. So here also it is show for the error percentage, how many errors will happen. So, and as simply you need to observe for the running users graph, see how we ramp up is happen, how we given duration and how is ramp down is happen, everything it will show. So it will be start with the 0 and after that it is including for the 8 minutes is your test will be finishing after including for the ramp up ramp down duration. This is the it per second. So how the it's happening in our application? It's nothing but see you are hitting application like you are clicking for the username, enter password, and you are giving for the login button, clicking to the login button. So it will hit it going to the server. So that is called it's. So in per second, how many it's happening? So it is calculate for this per second. And throughput. What is throughput means? Throughput nothing but sub bytes received from the server means some number of bytes will be received from the servers. How it is a server is receiving, and this will be to show. Okay. And after the transaction summary, what are the transactions you have? How many times it will happen? It will everything it will show here. You can observe 150, 150. So these all will be transaction flight login. This is the average response time means just our transaction graphs. This one, if graphical oriented means you need to observe here. So these all things will be there in summary report and as a report. So now once your test is completed, so we need to merge the graph and we need to find the what are things we need to what are the graphs we need to merge. Once we can merge the graph, what will happen? So we need how to they follow the process like client state statistics. Client state statistics means running users and it per second and throughput and our transaction summary graph and response time graph. This all will be coming to the client state statistics. So if anyone asks for the what are the client state statistics means running users, it per second, throughput and response time. So we can observe our test went good or not. You need to observe means you need to merge the graph. How we can merge the graph means, for example, I want to merge the graph hit per second and throughput. So I can click on hit per second, and after that graph, you can click on graph and right button click it. Here will be merge graph will be there. Everyone able to see merge graphs?
Yes, sir.
So now you can click on merge graph, and after that, for this hit per second, I want to merge with graph throughput. So you need to select here hit per second and throughput. Then you can select as a graph throughput. Means you are merging hit per second and throughput. So that is why you are selected as a hit per second and throughput. By merging this graph, the graph will be it is coming as a like inversional or direct proportional. You need to observe. So it is a direct proportional, then we are good results. Maybe inversely proportional, so your results will be not good. So by merging the graphs also, we need to observe for the other graphs. So then after that, you can click on OK. See how it is merge happen. So everything will be included. Everyone will be good. So maybe not like this. Maybe this graph will be like this. And maybe once you can merge the graph, throughput will be like this will be there. Maybe in above. So it is not merging properly. Then we can consider as a okay, we are not good for the results. Okay. So maybe in transaction point of view, observe for the more than 2 seconds happen. So we need to find the issue. What is the issue? Why it is taken for the 2 minutes? First point, what I told, client state statistics. What are the client state statistics? Running users, it per second, throughput, and response time. So by merging this graph, we need to find the issue will be there, not there. So we merged already graph. See, throughput and per second we merged. So how the graph it will happen? So it is good, right? It's a merging point of you can observe. It is
Proportionally
not
happen.
zigzag. So everything will be, it's good. So means there is no issue. And after that, you want to merge throughput and response time, you can merge. So maximum everything is running users it per second and throughput, this all things will be directly proportional only. But only throughput and response time will be, it's not a direct proportional, it is a inversely proportional by default. So if anyone asks for the what is the relationship between throughput and response time, means what is that? Inversely proportional. Because so you can match this and I open right throughput. Now you can match. So you can select as a response time graph or a response time. Then you can click on this. See, now we can observe how it is happen this graph. So this graph is not directly
Inversely
proportional or
proportional.
inversely.
Inversely proportional.
So inversely proportional. So means all graphs will be directly proportionals, but only for throughput and response time only for inversely proportionals. So if anyone asks for the interview questions, what are the client state statistics? And after that, what is the relation between throughput and response time? So it is inverse proportional. What is the relation between it per second and throughput means? Directly proportional.
Directly proportional.
So now you can again you can merging graph. Click on merge graph, and after that you can observe we have the select type of three type of graphs will be there. One is overlap. Overlap means nothing but view context two charts that share a common x-axis. Now you can observe here. Last time we merged with the what is this graph, right? This is the we are selected overlap or correlate. You can observe here. By default, it will be there overlap. Okay, overlap will be there. So by what is overlap means view content of two charts, means two charts we are merging that share a common x-axis. So now you can observe this graph. So it is sharing only x-axis only. It's not going to the y-axis. See, this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. So once we can merge the graph, it is going as a two x-axis. So it is a one x-axis. This is the one x-axis, two x-axis. So by merging the graphs, what will happen? We have the three types of will be there. What are the merging graphs means? You can observe now. This is the overlap. Maybe tile. You can select a tile. View the content of two charts and that share common x-axis one above other. So now you can merge and you can observe. See, I merged this. You can observe it is a graph. It will showing for the one above each other. This is for overlap or tile. What is that? See, you can observe this is the tile. Tile. See, tile nothing but you can observe. View the content of two charts that share common x-axis one above other. Means each other, one above other it will be generated. So now you can select as a it per second. And I'm doing for the tiles. You can observe. See how it will happen. One above other. So by seeing this also, you need to, this is direct or inverse proportional?
Direct.
Direct only, because both graphs will be not going to the up and teeth pattern. So both will be good up and teeth pattern, but it is not a unteeth pattern. So that is a, so, and going to one more tile overlap and one more thing will be there. That will be correlate graph. So we have the three types. To merge the graphs, we have three types. What are there? Overlap and tile and correlate. So now you can observe. I selected correlate. Plot y-axis of two charts against each other. So we can, it will come to the plot y-axis and each to each other. So you can click on this. See, this will happen for the, I merge the throughput and running users graph. Now you can observe this will be plotting for the two y-axis. So this is the y-axis and this is the y-axis, plotting two axis. So like this we can merge and we need to find the, if it is a directly proportional or inversely proportional, we need to observe. Is it fine, everyone?
Yes, Anna.
So maybe client state statistics you are not identify. Okay, everything will be directly proportional. So results you are unable to find the issue. Then we can move to the second one is the server side statistics. What is the server side statistics? CPU and memory utilization. So you need to go to the results. Already, for example, results we are created, right? So you need to go to here and you need to observe for the CPU and memory. You can open the results. So you can observe 22, 53, 30. So it is not crossing more than 80%. Because you are doing for the Windows, it is crossing more than 80%, then CPU memory is not sufficient. So we need to, we find the issue, then it is a, okay, we have find the issue and we need to recommend it to that particular team to increase for CPU memory. And if it is Linux based, it is crossing more than 85%, then we can consider as a, okay, CPU memory issue. Okay, this is for the client side statistics. And going to the next application side statistics. Application side statistics, nothing but we need to find the code level things. What is the class and what is the object, how much time it is taking, and this code, how much time it is taken. So we have the some tools will be there. Based on the tool, we need to observe the, okay, we find the one program they written that code it is taking for the high time. Because of that, we are getting for the response time will be our transaction. One transaction, it is not meeting the SLA. So we need what we can do in, we need to write the mail doubt team. So we observe for the one code is taking for this response time is high, because the we are not getting for the within SLA for this some transaction. So could you please look on that issue and get back? Then what they can do, they will look on that issue. Okay, why it is taking? Maybe they will say they will look what is maybe object issue or any class issue or any variable issue. So they will look on that and they will clear that one. And after that, again, we need to do the test and we are meeting SLA or not, we need check. Is it fine? Okay. Then going to the next one is the Webpage Diagnosis. What is the Webpage Diagnosis means? We can drill down the application. It issued could be network issue or server side issue. You need to observe. So it could be issue will be network or server side issue. So how you need to find that means by merging the graph. How you need to find means we have the time taken buffer graph will be there. Using that time taken buffer graph, you need to find the issue will be network or server. So how you means the using for the time taken buffer graph, if it is a so it is crossing for the more than less, so it is average, then we can consider as a network issue. It is more than that, then we can consider as a network issue. So based on this parameters, we need to find the where could be problem, like what is the issue, what is the bottleneck cause. So we need to identify that bottleneck like this. So anyone can explain how to we can find the dynamic value? Anyone ask what is the process you are following? Anyone ask for that to find out the bottleneck means first will be client state statistics. Client state statistics nothing but 8 per second throughput, running users, and average response time, connections. This all will be by merging the graphs we need to find. Maybe it is a direct proportional, inverse proportional. Then client side statistics fine. Then you can move to the server side statistics. Server side method but CPU and memory utilization. And after that, application side. Application side, if any code it is taking high response time or not, we need to find the. And if it is anything is taking high, then we need to report to the dev team. Then they will do their point of view and they will get back to us. And one more thing is a Webpage Diagnosis. Using for the time taken buffer graph, we need to find the it should be network or server. Maybe time taken buffer graph is high, then we can consider as a server issue. If it is time taken buffer is low, then we can consider as a server issue. So based on this, we need to drill down the application and we need to dig the issue. Is clear, everyone? Hello?
Yes,
So,
Annaya.
And after that, we need to observe for these all options. See, this will be, you want to create a new, add new group means you can click on this add new group, and we have the different type of graphs will be there. Running users, user summary, and transaction point of view also we have the average response time will be there. Transaction per second is there. Total transaction per second. So transaction summary and web resource also we have there. It is throughput MB HTTP status code summary. You want to add for this graph, then you can click on that graph and click on open. Then this graph will be generated. Now you can close this. See, this is the HTTP status code summary. Means is the 200 how many happen and 500 if it is anything there. So everything it will show here. Once you can add for the HTTP status code summary. So you want to add the graph means you can click on that. So you want to delete any selected item means, so you are selected this one, you want to delete means it will be deleted, and this will be, see, rename the selected item, and this will be duplicate item, this will be up and arrow, and going to the here, this will be create news analysis file. Then you can click on this, and after that you want to open existing analysis file. So you want to open the in file, you can go and you can open, and as simply here also option, this is the button is the, you want to open existing one. This is the cross results and save current analysis. So you can click on this, it will save. And this is, it is asking for the save. You can click on save and it will save. So what are changes you done, right? Everything will be saved. Like we are merge graphs will be there. This will be there. And so this will be global filter. You want to add for the any graphs, and you want to add for the time frame of each and every transaction, start time, end time. You need to add means you can click on this and you can add it. And after that, click on OK and apply means it will apply for the all. Okay. And we have, this is the configure SLA. So how we configure SLA in controller, same thing you want means you can add a new and you need to add for the SLAs. And this is for the analyze the transactions. To analyze the transaction means you can select this one. So this is to set filter globally. So you can click on this and you need to add for the globally, set the preferences. And one more thing. So these all will be options. Assembly in file also we have the save, open will be there, edit will be, these things will be there. In the view means you want to, which was set the any filter you want to filter means you can use filter. Otherwise you want to set to any granularity means you can set the granularity. What is the granularity means?